Hey guys, Shaun Ihasz back with you again. Cactus Jack 2 is my name on DraftKings. Here to talk UFC on Fox 24. Demetrious Johnson, Wilson Reis, 5 picks in 5 minutes for DraftKings. Before we get started, if you want a full breakdown on the entire card, make sure and check out the Loudmouth MMA podcast, which is myself, Kyle Steele, and MMA Prophet. Usually Prophet took a break on us this week, but he will be back next week. But for this card, that's where you can get a full breakdown. I already wasted 30 seconds. Let's get right into it. For DraftKings, a common strategy in cash games, one I don't always subscribe to, is stacking, but I will be stacking the main event in cash games. If you don't know what stacking it is, when you play both fighters from a fight, usually in the main event, because those are 5 rounds, more opportunity for points. Flyweight matchups are a perfect opportunity for that. Demetrious Johnson is also going to run you a pretty penny, 9,800 on DraftKings. Wilson Reis just 6,400. Whenever you can use both guys in a fight, it works out that you get a little bit of savings. Demetrious Johnson, you cannot pick against him. It's an interesting stylistic matchup against Wilson Reis, only because of what we saw Tim Elliott do to Demetrious Johnson. Was it a bad day, or is there a grappling deficiency? Probably just a bad day, but if Reis is going to have any kind of success, he's going to grapple with Demetrious Johnson, and that's worth tons of points on DraftKings. So I will be stacking the main event in cash games in tournaments. If you want to take a deep shot on either one on Wilson Reis, go for it. Johnson will be the most popular fighter on the card. Pick number 2, we're going to go Tom Duquesnoy, who it's tough for me to say because he's a UFC newcomer, 9,300, but he is a huge favorite against Williams, and there's a reason for it. The hype on this kid is real. Vicious power. If you go back and watch some of his fights, he has some incredible knockouts, and this is an aging guy on his way out of the UFC, and his opponent, a great spot for Duquesnoy to make his debut. I'll be interested to see what the ownership is on Duquesnoy, because he is a hot prospect that all the sharps know about, and even more casuals I see being on Duquesnoy. I'll be really interested to see what his ownership is, but I think it is surefire points for Duquesnoy. So he is our second pick. Pick number 3, Big Country, Roy Nelson, and I cannot believe I'm saying that, 8,100, but I like the matchup against Volkov. Volkov is a big, tall heavyweight, reminds me of Stefan Struve. I don't think he likes to get hit. Nelson has that right-hand power, and what we forget about Roy Nelson, even if he doesn't land the right hand, elite grappling. I know he doesn't look like it. The guy can grapple. He has some serious skills. He was in that grappling match against Derek Lewis, who is just freakishly strong, and that was kind of the deciding factor in that fight. Volkov is not that strong. I think he's either going to catch Volkov with a big right hand, or he's going to just out-grapple him, outwork him. I like Roy Nelson in this one, a guy I won't be picking much in the future, but in this fight, I like Roy Nelson. 4th pick, Michelle Waterson. Underdog pick, can't believe it. I can't believe that she's an underdog. Plus 120 against Rose Namajunas. Michelle Waterson, the former 105-pound Invicta champion, making her way through the strawweight ranks in the UFC. Rose Namajunas from that season of Tough. It's a stylistic thing again for me. I think that Waterson's going to be able to frustrate Namajunas with that karate style. Namajunas throws those big, looping, wild kicks, punches. Not going to work against Waterson, who has shown us she actually has grappling and submission skills as well. I just think she's the overall better fighter. It's a very slight edge, but it's a slight edge in every aspect of mixed martial arts. So I like Michelle Waterson. I won't be going crazy on her in tournaments because I'm not sure if the knockout upside is there, but I think a really strong cash game play. Michelle Waterson. 40 seconds left. Last play, and it's the biggest upset. I got to run through it. Augusto Mendez against Aljamain Sterling. Huge underdog, but I like Mendez. 7,400. This is a stylistic nightmare, in my opinion, for Aljamain Sterling. Sterling likes to maintain distance with those kicks. I think one of those kicks is going to get caught, takedown, and Mendez is just going to be able to get the fight to the ground and work Aljo over that way. Or Aljo doesn't have any power. Mendez, not technical, big power, could catch him that way. There's not a ton of underdogs I like on this card. Mendez presents problems for Aljamain Sterling, is a great value at 7,400. Just made it, guys. That is 5 picks in 5 minutes. I am Shaun Ihasz for the MMA Takeover.